Annie Claff here from the PNC Digital Desk, presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865. The O's pick up a win on the road. Here's the manager, Tony Mansolino.
What happened with Adley that he was scratched?
Left side, or not left side, just side tightness. Don't want to specify the side because I don't know for sure. We'll get it checked out and we'll have more information tomorrow.
You said before the game then?
Yeah, right before the game. So during BP, flared up. Scott, trainer, smart guy, been around this a long time. Pulled the plug right away just to make sure, and then we'll get it checked out. We'll have more information on what the next steps are tomorrow. Go ahead.
How big was that bullpen for you after that start from Sedano?
I mean, it went as good as it could have gone. I mean, we're sitting there trying to figure out what to do in the 8th inning. You know, really what we had left was Kittredge right there. But if you throw Kittredge right there in the 8th, we have nobody to throw the 10th or the 11th, and we can't go through a Major League Baseball game and not have somebody cover the 10th and the 11th. So, you know, blew it. We kind of reversed roles just to stay in the game as long as we could tonight was the idea, how we use it. The whole thing kind of set up on Scotty getting through the 7th and the 8th, and he did it pretty easily. Great play by Westy. But it just, I mean, it kind of went perfectly. If it doesn't go that way, I'm not so sure we can hold on and win that game.
How were you guys able to get to Max Fried early, and you feel like you guys wore him down by the 6th inning to be able to scrape across the 3rd round?
You know, the game plan for us to go in was just to battle. Be aggressive, but if you get to 2 strikes, just battle and try to take some pitches with you. So we had a lot of energy today, you know, in a strange way, coming from, you know, the vibe in Tampa, which was dead, to say the least. Then you walk into Yankee Stadium today after nobody got more than probably 4, 5, 6 hours of sleep. Everybody's out there in BP, and they're flying all over the field. So you had a good feeling. There was energy early on. We scored a couple points. You know, Tomo goes out, gives a couple back, but he got out of the inning. He kept us in there just enough, gave it to the bullpen. They killed it. So.
The throw from Orioles, sure. How impressive, number one, impressive the throw, but also in the grand scheme of the game to save a run right there.
He's done it a bunch lately. He had the one in Tampa that kept us in the game. He at the plate. He had the other one at second base in Tampa. This is probably one of the more underrated players in the big leagues right now for me this year, and it's probably one of the most underrated free agent signing for me this one, the way this guy is playing. You look up on the board, it's an 850-ish OPS. It's Gold Glove defense. It's impact defense. It's walks. Just huge. I mean, he's been so good here every day. Nobody's really noticing him, probably other than the people in that clubhouse.
He's been such a big part of this team. Just how nice to see him get into one in the big spot there in the 8th.
Yeah, you know, we were kind of figuring out how we were going to handle our bench and who's going to come off the bench and pinch hit. And, you know, part of the conversation was Yuri, maybe popping gun right there at that point. But, you know, with us, with Yuri and that short porch right there, he can drive the ball to right field. So Robbie and I talked, and it was, hey, man, he might go deep right here, you know, just with how everything was lining up. And, you know, we were kind of laughing. It worked out. Maybe we spoke it into existence. But he's been great. Very underrated player, just like Ramon, the other Ramon.
Did you know it was going off the bat?
We were all blowing as hard as we could, so I thought, yeah, I felt good about that. The whole dugout.
You mentioned Gunnar was, you know, available in a big spot.
Yeah.
That's a big spot, lefty, and it comes through.
Yeah, you know what, and it's one of the best players in baseball, regardless of who he's going to face. We knew Hill was up. They had him up earlier for a similar type situation, and you know, you go Vasquez against the righty that was in, or you go Gunnar against a really tough lefty, and we're going to bet on our guy every time. It worked out. Doesn't always work out, but it did tonight.
How do you see Sagano today? He deal with some kind of mechanic issues, or he just literally like general fatigue? You
know, I'm not sure. He used his fastball a lot tonight. He kind of sprayed his fastball. It seemed like he was behind in the count early a lot. First inning, obviously a couple walks lead off the game. I thought when he did get ahead in the count, he couldn't really put the hitters away. Just couldn't get the swing and miss that we've seen him get in the past, or get the ball put in play. There was a lot of foul balls, deep counts. Ran the pitch count up to whatever it was, close to 90 pitches in the 3rd, so we had to pull the plug.
That'll wrap things up here from the PNC Digital Desk, presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865.